Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the senior taster of Whisky.com. And today we have the Benriach Malting Season 3rd edition, 48%, 48.3 ABV, vintage 2012, bottled in 2023. Roughly 10 years old, uncolored, unchill filtered, to a price of €54.90 at Whisky.com, probably €1 or €2 more due to alcohol taxes in your particular country you live in. Benriach I visited in 2005 and they had just reopened. They were part of the Chivas group, and Chivas had always two distilleries with the same stills to have a backup. If one burned down, they would have another one. And when, technology became more reliable and the demand for high-end blends went down a lot, they decided to sell. And in the beginning, the distillery had always been an on-off distillery. It was mothballed, was started again, and so on. And in 2004, they were sold to Billy Walker, a very well-known whiskey brain and man in the branch, and he reopened the distillery with a group of investors, and they started distilling again. And when I visited the distillery in 2005, they had just reopened one malting floor. They still had this kiln with some coal anthracite lying around for hot air for drying the malt. And they said, they had stopped a lot of the maltings, but one malting floor they keep alive for later use. And now they started to use it, I think, and this is a completely locally produced single malt from the Concetto, barley to the own malting, drying, and distilling, of course, and then the maturation in dunnage warehouses with stamped clay floor, so they are damper than the modern concrete floor warehouses where they mature in a better way, in a more traditional way, with more intensity in the whiskey. Well, more to say, the bottle looks like the old 10-year-old. In the beginning, in 2000 and in 1994, 1995, there had been a 10-year-old with a slightly bluish label, light blue, like turquoise label on it, and the design was very much like this one. It was taller. I think it was a liter bottle from the travel value than duty-free. And this is quite similar, but not exactly the same. But it looks like. Hand malted at the Benriach Distillery autumn 2012 and 2013. So bottled in 2023. So 2012 isn't completely correct. We have to write 2013. And then the distillery was bought a few years ago by an American company, Brown-Forman, and the master blender now is Rachel Berry, which we know from several other distilleries. She's one of the very well-known noses in the whiskey industry. So she's now the master, how is she called? Benriach Master Blender. So this is no blended whiskey. Master Blender is the title of the person who selects the casks and decided how to mix them. And because all of those malt whiskey casks come from a single distillery, the result is called single malt. So you do not have a single malt whiskey distillery. No. We have a malt whiskey distillery, and only how you bottle the whiskey makes it a single malt. So it's the part or the action of the bottling that it makes a single malt, not the production. It's, of course, the production has to happen in one distillery to be a single malt, of course. very good cork. Very fruity in the start. Yeah. So, I like symmetry. Yeah, this is a very fruity apple pears together with a definite maltiness, fresh maltiness. A little citrus note in the back, but what is it? Bergamot oil? Just have a tea, an Earl Grey. There's this bergamot oil as also in it. Yeah, a little bit of cookies. Very nice. Cheers. Distinct spiciness from the oak. There's some, yeah, fresh pepper in it. Very intense on the tongue. Almonds, roasted almonds. Yeah, the casks they use are first fill ex-bourbon. That means just bourbon had been in the cask. Afterwards, the first filling after the bourbon had been this whiskey. And virgin oak cask, that means very fresh, without any bourbon in it, were used for the maturation, and they deliver a lot of spiciness, like ginger, like pepper. Very intense. No bitterness, it's too young for bitterness. So no chocolate note, and the spiciness just vanishes now, medium to long aftertaste. Yeah, this is extreme for a 10-year-old. Massive, intense. The taste and the aftertaste a lot more intense than the nose. Nose is fruity, light. The aftertaste is massive with some, yeah, herbs, krauts, almonds. Probably a little bit of sweetness of a honey note, but not much. And very malty. Yeah, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.